这个故事如果你听起来不累，那么你的听力水平在生活中是完全够用的。要持续提升英文，记得点击订阅按钮。我们开始吧。
The game was almost over, and the one person no one believed in was walking to the plate. He could feel every eye on him as he stepped out of the dugout. The dirt under his shoes was dry and rough. The bat in his hands felt strange, like it did not belong to him. He was not the player people talked about after games. He was the quiet one, the one who stayed in the back, the one who hoped no one would call his name. But now his name had been called, and there was no one else to take his place. He had to step up to the plate. This simple line, "Step up to the plate," did not begin as a life lesson. It began on early baseball fields in the United States in the late 1800s, when the game was still rough and new. Back then, fields were not perfect. The ground was uneven. The lines were not always straight. The plate was just a white shape set into the dirt, but it held power. When a player stood there, the game stopped being about the team for a moment. It became about one person and one chance. In those early days, players waited in a line near the bench. Some joked to hide their fear. Some looked away, hoping the inning would end before their turn came. The sound of the crowd was close, loud, and real. There were no giant screens, no loud music, no breaks to hide in. When your turn came, you walked out in front of everyone, alone. The pitcher stood not far away, holding the ball like a small piece of fate. He did not care about your fear. He did not care about your past. He only cared about the throw. And when he threw, the ball came fast, faster than most people expected. Many players failed. Many walked back in silence, eyes on the ground, knowing they had missed their chance. That is where the meaning began to grow. To step up to the plate was not just to take a swing. It was to accept the moment. It was to face something you could not avoid. Over time, people took the phrase off the field and into daily life. It began to show up in homes, in schools, in work, in quiet talks between friends. It became a call to act. Back on the field, the young man reached the plate and looked down at it. It was smaller than he remembered. For a second, he thought about stepping back. No one would blame him. Someone else could try. Someone better, someone stronger. But deep down, he knew that was not true. This was his turn, and no one else could live it for him. He placed his feet in the dirt and held the bat tighter. His hands were shaking. He could hear his own breath, slow and uneven. The crowd began to fade into a low hum. Time felt strange, like it was stretching out just for him. He remembered the first time he played baseball as a child. He had missed every ball that day. Kids laughed. He wanted to quit. But an older player had told him, You only learn when you stand there again. That line stayed with him, even when he tried to forget it. The pitcher lifted his arm. The first pitch came fast and low. The young man swung too early. The bat cut through empty air. A sharp sound from the catcher's glove followed. Strike one. A few people in the crowd sighed. Some turned away. It looked like the story would end the way it always did for him. He stepped out for a moment and looked at the field. The grass, the dirt, the white lines, all of it felt more real than ever before. He was not thinking about winning now. He was thinking about one thing only: staying. He stepped back in. The second pitch came higher. He waited longer this time. He swung, but the ball just touched the edge of the bat and flew back behind him. Strike two. Now the pressure grew heavy. One more miss, and it was over. In that short pause, something changed inside him. He stopped thinking about the crowd. He stopped thinking about failure. He even stopped thinking about success. He focused on the ball, on the sound it would make, on the simple act of meeting it with the bat. The pitcher threw again. The ball came straight and fast, like a line cutting through space. The young man moved at just the right moment. Not too early. Not too late. The bat met the ball. The sound was clear and strong, like something breaking open. The ball flew high into the air. For a second, no one moved. Then heads lifted. Eyes followed the white as it climbed higher and higher, far beyond the reach of the field. The crowd came alive. He dropped the bat and started to run, his legs moving before his mind could catch up. First base, then second. He could hear voices now, loud and full of life. By the time he reached third, he knew. This was not luck. This was the moment he had once tried to avoid. This was what it meant to step up to the plate. Over the years, the phrase kept growing. People used it when someone took responsibility in a hard time. When a parent worked 2 jobs to support a family. When a friend spoke the truth even when it was hard. When someone chose to try again after failing many times. The plate became more than part of a game. It became a quiet symbol. It stands for the moment that waits for each person, the moment that asks, will you face this, or will you turn away? You do not need a stadium. You do not need a bat. Your plate can be a small room, a phone call, a choice you keep putting off. It can be the day you decide to change something in your life. It can be the second you choose to speak when you have always stayed silent. The plate does not move toward you. It waits where it is. It does not shout. It does not force you. But when your turn comes, it is clear. You either step forward, or you watch someone else take the moment that could have been yours. So think about it. Right now, in your own life, where's your plate? What have you been avoiding? And when the moment comes again, as it always does, will you step up to the plate? Or will you stay back and wonder what could have happened?
能以非母语者的身份专注学习到现在，这本身就是很棒的进步。真诚感谢你的观看。如果你觉得本期内容实用，点赞或留言让我知道你的想法，这对我持续创作非常重要。我们下期见。